What a week. We are here live at the Magic Through Wrestling podcast. It's been a crazy week. We have a huge show coming at you this week. This is going to be amazing. We're going to get right to it here because it's been crazy. Guys, buckle your seatbelts. This is going to be a fast ride.
Jimmy, this is going to be the best show we've done so far. We've only done a couple, but this is going to be awesome. Ever since you gave me that special news about a third man just about a week ago.
Yeah, it was. It was great. My phone went off, and this was a great phone call. I was very surprised. It was awesome. After I got done being yelled at by this person, it was a great conversation. It was fantastic. You listeners, you're in for a huge treat, okay? Huge treat. Go ahead, Mark.
You almost didn't even need to be in for a treat because he wanted to open up the show. We had to tape his mouth shut.
We do. Somebody should let him go and get him out of the dungeon.
Yeah, well, that's good. We got somebody on cue waiting to let him out, so we'll be good here in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the third man, Magic Through Wrestling, has gained a third host, and it is somebody huge.
Yes, it is. That and huge is an understatement. It really is. I got to tell you, right, and this is a great tie-in. If you're a new listener to the show, I want you to go back, listen to episode number 2. We talked about where were you when. And there have been some defining moments of professional wrestling history where the third man has been revealed, and it has been earth-shattering. The biggest one, NWO, right? Hogan comes out. He's the third man. It was unbelievable. Well, we've outdone ourselves this time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is bigger, I feel.
I do. I agree. I think it's on a different level. I think it is bigger because this person, our new co-host here, not only is a great human being and a great friend of ours, but he doesn't do podcasting, or he didn't do it anymore, and it's very hard to get an interview with him, period, right?
Yeah.
And now he's here with us, every show with us, talking about different things, and this is awesome.
That's right. In fact, I have had a couple people actually guess this person, okay? And I don't exactly know how, but a couple people came up to me and they're like, hey, is it this person? And it was because of my wedding, because this person was at my wedding.
Right.
And I said, yeah. And they said, you know what? You guys are going to have the best podcast because he's not everywhere.
No.
Because all these other people in podcasting, they'll kind of go everywhere. And this person is not. He's exclusive to Magic Through Wrestling here with us.
Right. So, without any further ado, do you want to let him out of the back? You can finally take him out of the bathroom.
Somebody open up the door there and
let him out of the dungeon.
Let him out of the dungeon.
That's right. Yeah, because he's been in a dungeon before.
That's right.
He was in a dungeon. He was in a different type of dungeon, the Dungeon of Doom, in fact. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome to the podcast the one, the only, Mr. Bill Demott.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
I'm not doing it. You make this big build up and the third man and Hogan and you open the dungeon door and let the huge guy out.
We didn't know you could hear
That's
that
my
back
introduction to Magic Wrestling. Open the dungeon, let him out. No music, no nothing. Hey, build up. I'm not doing it. I'm second guessing my decision. This is worse than the Dungeon of Doom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Demott is also very modest and humble, and he has not expressed any of the qualities of like a diva.
None whatsoever.
Yes.
This is no laughing matter right now.
This is no laughing matter at all.
I specifically asked not to have my knees bent at this angle. And for I have nothing. I get nothing.
What we did get your own makeup station chair and...
Yeah, it's not hard to put a hat on me and push me out the front door.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I'm excited. I appreciate being here, guys. It's a lot of fun. And that's true. I don't do a lot of podcasts. I'm not a big interview guy. But the three of us have ties, and when I had to find out on Facebook that Jimmy had another project, and then Maury was a part of it, and there's Bill sitting home on Monday nights or whatever, because I have nothing to do. What have I ever done? Hogan had music.
We'll get you some music.
I'm sitting here watching Cats.
That's right. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but the Morris cats are running around. This is great. Bill's playing with them. He's got a big feather in his hand. I'm not sure what he's doing with it. but it's fantastic.
I brought this feather.
Never mind. Okay, on that note, let's talk about this is how this is going to be, folks. I told you this is going to be a wild ride. Episode 1, we told you to buckle your seatbelts. I tell you every week, and we try to deliver, and this is great.
How did it go, episode 1 and 2? People liked it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're totally about to screw that up.
that's true.
Is there a meter for losing viewers and followers?
Well, we will see him taper off after this episode.
Yeah, that is correct.
I tend to start slow and then taper off.
Oh,
That's
man.
good. That doesn't give us a whole lot to look forward to.
Yeah,
So we
well,
don't ever have to.
I never
Fail.
leave you wanting more.
Never.
The strongest advice I give any young man in the world.
Oh, we love it. We love it. This is great. I love the dynamic. So, and it's true what Bill said is, the three of us know each other, right? Maury mentioned Bill was at his wedding. I was there. And we've known each other for a while now. But Bill and I have known each other a little bit longer. Bill and I have known each other for just about 4 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, I've met Bill the first time about 9 years ago in Atlanta. So I was in Atlanta. It was WrestleMania 24. And Tough Enough was out on USA.
I was a star then.
Yep. And
Star.
then, keyword.
You're still a star.
I was
Bill.
a star then.
You're a star to me, Bill.
I was behind the barricades then.
He was.
Now I can't get in the building.
I can make a phone call. We can lift that trespass warning. So we were in Atlanta, right? And I'm there. And Tough Enough's out, and they do a Q&A panel with Booker T and Trish Stratus and Bill. And they're in the ring at Access. And I'm standing in the barricades because I had VIP tickets to meet Shawn Michaels, who was getting inducted to the Hall of Fame that year.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, right. Just a little name. So I'm standing there by the barricades, and they come, Bill and Booker T and Trish Stratus, leave the ring, and I'm standing there with my Winged Eagle World Heavyweight Championship from the Attitude Era, and I got all the signatures from that week. And Bill comes up to the guy next to me, and he's having a conversation with some guy, and they exchange phone numbers, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to remember this guy's number. This is kind of cool. And Bill looks at me like, who's this crazy guy eavesdropping on my conversation?
Listening to my phone number.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which probably wasn't my real phone number.
And then I just remember as Bill went to leave, I kind of looked at him, and I felt like Oliver, right? Please, sir, may I have some more?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm like, please, sir, can I have your autograph? And he did, and he autographed my belt. And it was one of the highlights of WrestleMania weekend. It really was. I have no life. So I peaked at that moment right there in Atlanta.
That's amazing.
Yep. And that was the first time I had met Bill. Bill, do you remember any
Do
of
you
that?
remember
No,
that?
I remember nothing. And you have the pictures.
I do. I have
And
the pictures.
since that time, you've showed me those pictures, and he's brought them out. I couldn't tell you.
That's
The only thing that mattered, it sounds funny now because we're older.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple years on both of you, but we're all older, but you sit there and the fact that was your experience.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it.
Yep.
But that's my job. That was our job, was amongst all the other stuff I'm sure we talk about and whatever's been talked about and we'll talk about again, is that experience. And as it turns out, because you had that experience, we're sitting here.
Yep.
Because if I was a douche,
Yeah.
can we say that?
Yeah, we just did.
We just okay.
We don't edit on the show. So.
Yeah, you're good.
So but if I was a douche, or if I treated you like,
Yep.
You're here to see me and it's not your time, get back in line, that kind of thing, or that you hear about,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be sitting here. And fast forward to everything else we'll talk about in the future and everything else.
Yeah.
But I see the pictures. I think it's funny as get out.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then a couple years later, Bill and I met under some different circumstances, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, now we are great friends, and there's probably not a day that goes by where I don't talk to him. Yeah. In fact, if I don't hear from him, I'm like, what's wrong? Is Bill okay? Is he sick? Why haven't I talked to him today? He's like my work wife, but he's a dude, and I don't work with him. So that's, it's a little weird, but it's a great dynamic.
I'm uncomfortable again.
Yeah, a little bit. That's my job. That's
Going
what
back to the dungeon.
I noticed you
what I
got
do.
closer to him too.
a little bit.
He's scooched, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little
Kind of
bit.
scooched. And I'm stuck in the spot because my knees are bent this way.
There you go. Well, we
So,
can't let you
I'm kind
leave.
of
So
trapped.
No, you're done. You're done, Bill.
that's amazing. And I met Bill actually through church, which was absolutely amazing.
What?
Because
You're going lightning.
The place
Church, build them on church.
right? Place didn't burn down. What?
Well, yeah, My wife had actually brought me to C3 Church where we go, and I was still kind of new to the area. This is a couple of years ago. I moved from Pittsburgh, and we were looking for like a home church. Somewhere that was kind of close, but somewhere that we, just by kind of looking into it, we felt some kind of connection. And C3 popped up, and we're like, oh, well, everybody has a red bumper sticker. If you're from the area, you definitely get the reference.
Yep.
But, we decided to check it out, and I'll never forget this. I was sitting down, and it's super dark. You can't see anything. And we're sitting there, and the whole time Bill was doing security, and he was standing there, and you can only see his side. And I was looking, and I'm like, oh, my God, there's no way, because I don't know. Even though Orlando is big, I'm from such a small farm town in Pittsburgh that you don't see anybody who is famous or anything.
Right. Not like seeing Kurt Angle in a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, well, that did happen though. Actually, back home. So never mind. My point is completely blown away. But and it was so funny because I tell my wife, I lean over and said, "Hey, you're never gonna believe this. So there's this famous pro wrestler." And I think he's here. And she goes, oh, you mean Bill Demott? He comes to the university and speaks all the time. I know him. I'm like, what? What? You know him? Yeah. And it was just like, Bill, yeah, I love Bill.
Bill, like, everybody loves Bill, right?
Of course.
Everybody loves Bill. I know our listeners are going to love Bill because Bill's just such a genuine human being.
Because they don't think that's my real name. You know that, right?
What?
Anybody who thinks they know me thinks that Hugh Morris is my name. It's true. Lacey called me Hugh the first 6 years we were together.
Really?
Yeah, and we're married. This is Hugh. And I'm thinking to myself, she doesn't know my name. So you go, didn't you used to be Bill Demott? Is the question people ask me.
That's
yes, I
amazing.
used to be all the time.
He used to be Bill Demott.
But it's funny when people see it. There's no way he's at church. Yeah.
Which is great. He's very humorous. But see what I did there, Bill?
I heard it.
Yeah. Yeah. How many times have you heard that just today? Yeah. This is going to the Bill Demott puns are going to be great.
If he wasn't chained to the floor, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how quickly he would run out of here.
Enjoy this episode. It's going to be the last one we ever. No, this is
special.
What's great is Bill. Bill does know everybody. Everybody knows Bill because he is such a wholesome human being and he's got a very wide impact.
Worldly.
But worldly is a great word. But because of Bill, I've been able to meet some great people. And some other awesome wrestlers.
Me.
Yeah,
actually.
well, I said great people. So let's stick to that. But I met some people, and it's been fantastic. Here's what gets me every time is when I'm with Bill and his phone rings, and I'm like, I wonder who it could be. I don't know, right? I don't never know who calls, but I always think I'm like, that could be, in theory, right? That could be Triple H on the phone with him, right? And you never know. You never know who's calling Bill Demott because everybody knows Bill Demott.
I never answer my phone in public because I'm afraid of who's calling.
He also never answers it around me because he's afraid who's
I
calling.
always put my phone like this with Frank.
It's always down. Yep.
Oh, you know what's going to be funny is one day he's going to be like, hey, this is a bill collector. Can you just brush him off? And it's going to be like somebody huge. Yeah. And you're going to be such a jerk and they're going to hate you.
I told you don't call him again.
Yeah, and I would do that for Bill. I would yell at somebody for Bill.
Who was that? That was Ric Flair. Let that one go. I do that with Greg Lovelady.
Yeah?
The head coach of UCF baseball.
Yep.
He's a big wrestling fan. Who do we talk to today? Who we doing today? So we're at the baseball field last week. Devon Dudley calls me.
See what I mean?
So Devon Dudley calls me. So Greg Lovelady's sitting next to me in the dugout. And he's looking at me, and I go. And he's like pinching my arm like a schoolgirl. And he's like, what is he saying? I'm like, well, you're on speakerphone. Ask him yourself. And so I'm like, Devon, I got to call you back. And
this guy's having like a conniption fit.
And it's so funny.
So we have a friend, and I got to talk about him right now. And I don't know if he's going to hate me or love me, the fact that I'm talking about him. But that reaction when the story you just telling about Greg Lovelady, we have a friend, Robert Campbell.
Oh, jeez.
Robert Campbell and his fangirl. Let me tell you about this guy. So he's a good friend of mine, big fan of Bill's. First time he ever meets him was at an event. He comes up to me. He's like, hey, is that really Bill Demott? I said, yeah. It's like, I need to meet him. I don't want to be that guy, but can I meet him? Do you think we take a picture? Can I meet him? And I go to Bill. I'm like, hey, this really weird guy. I'm not sure who he is. He wants to meet you.
He knows him and doesn't even give it up.
Right. And Rob comes up to Bill and starts fangirling over Bill. Right. Do you remember that night? No, he doesn't remember anything.
By the way, the worst phrase in the history of the English language
Fangirl?
is fangirl.
Yeah.
I don't dig it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I feel like I have to. I don't know what when I hear that. It always. I was such a fangirl. Stop it! No, you aren't.
Well, it's a great word to describe Robert Campbell.
Oh, for Campbell it was, but it's very uncomfortable.
You know what's funny? At my wedding, right? My best man, I met him actually at pro wrestling school back in 2007. And he actually went on to have a better career than me, but we'll save that for another time. And he was the exact opposite. He came up, he goes, I know this is your wedding, but if I went up and I stunned Bill, do you think he would sell it? And if he sells it, do you think he would also sell a rock bottom of me going across the room?
Absolutely
and I was like, my
not.
wife will destroy your dreams, but he might sell it. I don't know what will happen.
It's when I say you got to try it. The whole table was like looking at me, like, what can we do to him? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, there's a bunch of young cats over there.
They're trying meanwhile they're trying to
they're gonna try like these
moves
16 new moves to see what I'm gonna do here.
Right.
I'm like, Lacey, where's the exit? See those 6 guys over there?
They're eyeballing me.
This is about to be a battle royale.
Yeah, well, it was a great wedding though, because you got married on 3/16.
I did get married on 3/16.
I don't know how you pulled that off.
You know what? My wife actually was the one who picked the date.
No. Let me. Veteran marriage to young marriage. You got bamboozled. You're gonna pay for that somewhere down the line. I love your wife. I know she's listening, but you got set up. You got the 3/16 wedding, but it's coming back.
That's true.
It's coming back, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, I know she's listening.
I hear her in the background. Oh, that's
just
great.
letting you know. I'm not this old for no reason.
He's very wise beyond his years. Which is why wise beyond your years, why we have him as a co-host. He brings a lot to the show. Great sense of humor, great person. But let's switch gears for just a second here. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week for all of us, right? Maury, what have you done this week?
Well, this week I went out to film my good friend Jimmy's magic comedy special at Wonderworks here in Orlando.
Right,
Was that a good plug for your show?
Yeah, that was great. Out of Control Magic Comedy Dinner Show, right? $29.99 includes all you get pizza, salad, soda, wine, beer, dessert, unlimited laughs, limited fun.
Wow, we didn't even plan that.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was a great segue.
Shameless plugging, right?
It's embedded in his.
It's too many years of watching
It's a
DX.
great show. It's a great show.
It is a great show. He had a lively guest this week who the wife wouldn't shut up. She tried heckling him, and Jimmy actually put her in her place, and then it was great. It was awesome. I'm behind the camera laughing, trying to stay as professional as I can, and this lady just keeps like yelling at him and trying to be a part of the show.
Oh, she was drunk. She was terrible, right? Great family. So she wanted to call things out. She's a teacher. And they're there because it was teacher appreciation, so half off for teachers. So she's having a very good time, enjoying some adult beverages as I'm performing. Her husband, who's a retired cop, is there. He's great. He's the life of the party. But I will tell you this: the family and the couple, they knew when to stop. They really added value to the show instead of taking it away. They became part of the show, which is what my intention is. I want everybody to have a great time. Yeah. So they again were a little loud, but they were fantastic. The audience, I think, loved them, and they loved our interactions between the two of them. It was great. It was really, really, really good couple. Walt and Lisa, if I'm not mistaken. Walt and Lisa.
And for those of you listening, don't go to the Out of Control Magic Comedy Show. $29.99 all you can eat pizza and all that, all the other stuff. You'll have to replug it here. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I will.
And thinking you're just going to be a part of the show and you're going to heckle Jimmy here because he doesn't let too many of those slide. But you're right. They did do a good job of adding to the show.
It's a good show because they could have been the worst people in the world and he's still going to say they were great. They were lovely. They added to the show. That's your thing. Sometimes I don't know. I don't get it. Somebody's a douche sometimes. It's okay. But that's your thing, and that's what makes it's all about experiences,
Yeah, absolutely.
And, that's a good show. I enjoy it. I enjoy that show a lot.
So yeah, it's been a crazy week. So yeah, Maury came out. He filmed my show. It was great. Look for that to come out on DVD here soon.
Did you do the orange?
No, I took that out of the show actually.
Oh, jeez, Lou.
Yeah, I took that out of the show at time. We have to evolve, right? So you evolve your characters and whatnot, and my show just evolved into something different. So
what replaced the orange?
What replaced the orange?
The banana?
No, banana's still in. The banana's still in.
Love the banana.
Yeah, and if
banana's
you haven't seen
good.
my show, you got to come out and see exactly what we're talking about.
Well, I wasn't invited to the podcast. How am I going to get invited to the show?
Bill, you have an open invitation to the
Now,
show.
sure,
In
because
fact,
now I'm like the third guy.
right? Well, you know,
Hogan without the music.
you know where you're going to get some tickets to the show.
dungeon.
You can get tickets to the show at your banquet dinner
That's right.
as a silent auction. That's right. And we're going to talk about the banquet a little later.
That's
but you
right.
want to come to see the Out of Control Magic Comedy Dinner Show? I'm going to tell you where to get some tickets. So,
Where you could, yeah.
yeah, right. But busy week, right? So we had the show. I had the show on, I don't know, Sunday? Was it Sunday? Yesterday?
Yep.
Saturday night.
It was Saturday night.
Saturday night. But let's talk about this week, right? So let's get into some wrestling, right?
Let's do it.
Season premiere Monday Night Raw last week. I thought it was a good solid show. But the big night that we got to talk about is Wednesday night.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
The
Wednesday.
night the world broke and
The world
went
did
being
break. I think
crazy
everything
and-
broke Wednesday night because this brought me back to my childhood. This brought me back to the Monday Night Wars between WWF and WCW, and now we have the Wednesday Night Wars between NXT and AEW. So I know how I did it. I had NXT on my tablet, and I was watching NXT on my tablet, and I had AEW on my TV, and I was watching both simultaneously. Maury, how did you do it? What did you do?
So going back to my childhood, right? I mean, that was the peak of my fandom too.
Yep.
During the Monday Night Wars, and I said, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this the right way. I'm gonna have one setup, and if I miss something, I miss something. Now we got social media; you can go back and watch a highlight.
Yep.
But I thought, you know what? I wanted this to be as organic as it was. So I'm gonna try to do as much flip back and forth as I can, and if something keeps me there, it keeps me there, and if it doesn't, it's sending me to the other one.
Yeah, you're very reminiscent of Tony Schiavone in the Mankind comment.
Yeah.
That that's going to put some butts in the seats. For me, I wanted to watch both simultaneously, and it was difficult because I did miss things. But I was so intrigued by what is AEW going to do for the first Dynamite. I had to see it, but I was also so intrigued. What is NXT going to do on the first? And I couldn't miss either. And both shows, I think, delivered. I have a clear winner in my mind in week one, but we'll talk about that in a second. Bill, did you happen to catch the shows?
Yeah, I'm a clicker.
Okay.
I'm that guy being part of those wars
Right.
and doing it, and that's kind of the way it was done back then. Is we were doing our show, we had their show on in the locker room.
Oh, really?
Really?
So that's exact, and that's the way it was for them too. They were watching us as they were, as they were doing their thing. But I'm that. Something's gotta take me there. I like it organically. I don't like to this. I click it, and to me it's like if Monday Night Football is stinking the joint out, I click to whatever's on. Dancing with the Stars, whatever the heck it is, something that makes me want to watch it.
Right.
But wrestling, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It has to engage me.
Yep.
And if I miss something, I miss it. This day and age, you don't miss anything. You can clearly turn it on.
Yep.
20 minutes later, and you'll find it. But interesting week.
Very.
Interesting week.
Let me ask you this, Bill. So, as fans, we know what it's like growing up with the Monday Night War as a fan. What was it like actually being a part of a Monday Night War? I mean, I couldn't even imagine.
You had to do your job. I mean, it was just the point of doing your job because the war wasn't the boys. It's not the boys. It wasn't, I didn't have a beef with, Albert.
Right.
I wasn't going after Albert to outdo Albert,
Right.
That wasn't until we became part of the same company,
Yeah.
Right.
So it was the companies, the production, the setting, the place to be, the storylines. That creative was going after creative, and who was going to take the first cheap shots and things like that. So, but it was cool, and when you found out you were winning, for someone like me, because at that time I was a mid Carter, upper mid Carter at best.
Yeah.
So you only had certain opportunities. So you were just going. Whatever it was you were doing, you were just trying to figure your way into more of that. You know what I mean? But it was the whole point of saying you were winning only goes so far. And as we find out, you go how many weeks or
83 weeks. for
83
WCW,
weeks,
so.
and we did all that, and then it fell off really fast because you got comfortable going, we've won.
Yeah.
Nah, you won a few battles. You won 83 battles. And then here comes VKM to win the war again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So to me, it's the same thing here. And I know that's the big social media thing. It's not a war. It's not a war. It's not us against them. But everybody's everybody's tweaking it and pinching everybody in the side. And let me needle this one a little bit and take a couple cheap shots. 2 more weeks will tell who stands tall for me. I think 2 more weeks. And for me, it's very simple. I'm an NXT guy. I helped it start. I helped it from its birth. I was fortunate enough to be part of it, good, bad, or indifferent. I've watched Paul watch it grow. But the thing that's going to catch people, the wrestling purist, is every week AEW is going to be in a different arena.
Yeah.
With different emotions. And that's the thing that's going to lead to the ratings being different. Whether the show is better or not is not the point. Ratings is what draws revenue and what keeps companies happy and things like that. So you're going to be in Chicago and you're going to be in Texas and you're going to be here. And Full Sail's Full Sail.
Yeah.
And after a while, as you both know, and being Full Sail and being in there, and it's a great atmosphere and it's a great and it's not going to get different.
Yeah.
So either they're going to force the hand and now all of a sudden you're going to be at the Amway, or you're not. And that's just my take on it. I think the show's great. It's only going to be so great, and you're going to be playing to the same 600 every week.
Yep.
Because as you know, you both go to the shows.
Yep.
90% of it's the same people you just saw.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing. It's great support. They're fans. They're diehards. They keep it going. They go to the live events, all these other things that AEW doesn't have right now. But AEW is throwing $15K in an arena, and that's what's going to draw, the ratings. That's just my take on it.
No, it's a very interesting take, because we've talked about the experience of Full Sail, and I think one of the things for NXT that makes it is I feel like when you go to the Full Sail arena there, the NXT arena, you become part of the show. Like the people who are involved in my show. You become part of the show. There's interaction there between the superstars and the crowd. And I think that's carried over onto TV. Now, I've some reports have come on the line. Some things have changed at Full Sail in the last week. So I'm interested to see the dynamic of how it has changed. I'd like to go back since now there were 2 hours at USA and some minor modifications have been made. And I think those minor modifications may change the game. More, it looks like we're going to say something.
Yeah, so, obviously, you guys know I have very close ties with Full Sail. I love the place. I come from a film background there, and then even working there. So I heard a rumor, and we're going to take it as that because I don't know if I'm getting hot water for saying this, but from what I heard is that Full Sail's contract with WWE's up in December, and so they're looking to actually not do every week there.
Right. I did hear a rumor like that as well. I don't remember where my source came from.
But
it wasn't you.
Yeah,
but
wasn't me.
Which was independent. So that
makes me feel better.
Yes, because that's
I don't know.
Right, and it wasn't Bill. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, I heard that they're looking at maybe 2 and 2. 2 on the road, 2 at Full Sail.
I love that because you still come back home to that intimate crowd, which is where you started, which is who you're really a part of.
But you lose your crowd now because now you took it away from them.
Yeah,
they're the diehard. Been there 6 years now, and now you're saying, "Oh, now you're going to go somewhere else and then come back and expect me to come back just for those."
I think if you did it, you have to do it like Bill said at the Amway or at a larger arena somewhere in Central Florida where the crowd can still go and travel to, but you could fill up.
Yeah.
But so I'll tell you real quick. For me, the clear winner for that week, although the ratings didn't show it, I thought NXT put on a better product and a better show. Nothing against AEW. I agree. I think a couple more weeks is going to tell. For the first show, it was a high caliber, high quality show, but I think there were just some little issues. A couple of botches in the ring. A couple of promos didn't go off as well or as clearly
for
received.
AEW.
For AEW,
which I appreciated though.
What do you mean?
Because they're fresh out of the box.
Right. Okay.
You know it's new.
Yes.
Like you're going, wow. Like I watched the first promo and it was like you're waiting for the Young Bucks and it was like didn't happen.
Yeah.
And there's a blank screen. I'm sitting there going, this is the best time for wrestling because no one's intentionally screwing the pooch here.
Yeah.
But everybody kept their calm, kept their composure.
Which they did very good
and they did their thing. And to me, being from the other side of it,
right,
that's what made you a pro. That's what made you. So I was like, let's see how they handled. That's what the thing. I was like, okay, not bad. Because don't forget, all these guys in AEW don't have the TV time that NXT has.
Right.
That's true.
So I don't care how famous they've been across the world, they don't have the TV time.
Right.
So there's a big learning curve for them as well. But so I'm gonna go. The winner was AEW, both in the ratings, and in presentation.
Really? Wow. Interesting.
So what I think, here's my honest take on it. So obviously I'm an NXT / Full Sail diehard and purist.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, here's how it's going to be for me. I have a clear bias, and so AEW is going to have to do a lot to kind of get me to kind of get off that. And to be honest with you, I still thought NXT put on the better show because they had the better matches, the better stories, and everything like that as well. But I will tell you this, NXT got me excited to actually flip back to it, as much as I could. And I tell you what, I think both shows did amazing. It made me excited.
The girls' match on AEW helped you flip back to NXT, though.
Well, that botch at the end.
That was about 35 minutes too long.
Yes. Yeah. That was, and women superstars are awesome. They put on a great show. That was
and not because it was girls. It was just too long.
It was not a. I was not happy with that quality of match. No. But I will tell you, I think AEW definitely is giving some competition to NXT and the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have a run for their money for sure. I think that the production staff at AEW is doing a great job. I'm excited to see where they're going to go and how they're going to grow. I'll tell you what I really liked. I liked seeing a lot of the Hall of Famers, popping up on AEW. There was a segment with the Lucha Brothers and who was that? SCU. And we had Dean Malenko came out.
Was so cool.
That was great. And it was great to see people like Dean Malenko.
That was weird.
Phil, that was weird. Why was that weird?
That was weird. Arn and Dean and
yeah, but you know what I like?
It's great.
Yeah, it's a familiar face to me. I enjoy it.
You watch it, but the end result for me, end all do all with everything in wrestling, was Fox.
Yeah. Oh yes.
That's the end all do all. Talk about what Raw and go NXT and AEW. Talk about whatever you want. Fox was the end all do all this week.
Yes, it was. It was an exciting week in professional wrestling, Fox and SmackDown Live, and I want to get to that in just a second. But real quick, going back to NXT, I think going with Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle for the NXT title, opening it up, they started with a bang, and then Finn Balor coming out made it very interesting dynamic. On the flip side, though, that 6-man tag there at AEW, and then Jon Moxley coming out and taking out Kenny Omega, that had me at the end. Yeah. I would have liked to see, and I think there would have been more competition if NXT put on Cole and Riddle as a main event at the end versus Street Profits and Undisputed Era. I would have, if they would have switched those matches, I think it would have been tighter in the last 20 minutes.
But that's hindsight night.
Yeah,
right?
Hindsight 2020, and I can understand. But you're right, Bill. The clear winner of the week is Fox.
Hands down.
Yeah.
SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown, what a show.
Oh, my gosh.
What a big fight field night that they put on.
It felt like, Mayweather versus Pacquiao at MSG or something like that. Just like the biggest venue you could think of mixed with like the biggest fighters that you could think of. But that's how the whole show felt.
Yes. Now here's my thing, right? With Becky, with the man Becky Lynch coming out and then The Rock, right? It was a great segment. I think it really set the bar for SmackDown. And somebody tweeted, and don't remember who it was, can we finally say SmackDown is the A show? And I agree. I think SmackDown's been the A show for a long time. And after last night's Hell in a Cell, I think it's going to remain the A show. I know Bill has some disagreements on it, but we're going to get to them in a second. But here's my only concern with SmackDown. Can they keep that caliber show week after week?
There's no you don't have an option.
You have to.
You don't have an option. That's $1 billion deal.
Right.
That show is now the show.
Yeah.
Raw, SmackDown has now become Raw.
Right.
Raw has now become NXT. NXT has now become Raw.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And now there's because there are no 1, 2, and 3 shows anymore.
Right.
But Fox is the end all do all.
Yeah.
And they're going to show it with their graphics. They're going to show it behind the scenes. The fact for the first time ever, I think, in McMahon history, Fox people are also producing backstage segments.
Yeah.
Which has never happened before either. So this thing's set to go off. This thing's only going to get better and better. And their worst show is going to draw more than any SmackDown show's ever drawn on cable network anyway.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, their worst effort, everybody's got the measles. Their worst effort is going to draw higher than... They did what, 4 million?
4 million.
Fantastic.
There hasn't been a 4 in a little bit of forever.
Right. remember the
end all
last
do all. Hell in a Cell, but you don't have to see that again until next year.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that in a second.
I
But
do agree though with Fox. Like Fox is bigger than USA. It's bigger than TNT, and Fox is going to get what they want.
Yeah,
because
they have the money.
They can. Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna go down and go after Raw or NXT down the line?
No.
You think SmackDown's gonna stay on Fox and that's gonna be it?
That's it.
Do you think it's going to stay on Friday night though? I mean, that's not the most ideal time slot.
You know what? But think about this: you get a 4 on a Friday night.
They did a 4 on a Friday night.
But to me, I do think it's gonna stay on Friday night because it's very reminiscent. I want you to go back to your childhood for a second, right? Very reminiscent of like a TGIF. Like I want to come home and I want to watch Friday Night SmackDown. I want to order a pizza, have some wings, and watch Friday Night SmackDown and sit on the TV, and that's what I want to do. And if you're at the demographic that WWE is targeting, that's, I think, where you need to go after. And let's look at it the other way. Where are you going to put it? Are you going to compete against yourself on Monday night? Right? You're not going to – Tuesday and Thursday, not a great night either.
You can't go Wednesday,
You can't go Wednesday, right? So Friday, I think, is the ideal night for SmackDown. And you can't switch Monday Night Raw.
No,
that's
that
Monday Night
never,
Raw, Monday Night Raw.
That's blasphemous.
But, I do have to talk about SmackDown. There are two things that stand out about SmackDown. One, there's one superstar that I would have liked to seen on SmackDown that did not make an appearance. That would have been The Undertaker.
Yeah.
I think for all the times he's been there, that was his show and his brand. I mean, don't get me wrong, The Rock was awesome.
Yeah.
Right? I had chills and goosebumps watching that segment. But to see Taker, I would have liked to seen Taker on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I
would have liked to have seen him there just because of nostalgia.
Yes.
But at what point, and this is like when Austin was out at the Raw reunion and came out the other week or whatever it is, and there's so we're clear, there's no bigger fan of that time and place in wrestling than me because I was part of it and because I grew up in it while it was happening and I've learned a lot about the business that way. But when does it come to the time? Like there's people who were upset he wasn't there, but they did a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably should have been there.
I think it's just
and
the right
he probably
thing.
would have had something to do.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have liked it and probably would have turned it down anyway.
Right.
But at what point do you finally hand the reins off to these guys and go, make your legacies now. Do something.
Well, they did. The only thing I do not like, and
I liked Angle and Foley in the audience. I like Trish and Lita and keep them away.
Yes, if
you're
it
there,
would've
you're
just been
fans,
somebody-
you got my
yes.
support.
Yes.
I don't think Taker would have been good sitting in the audience, but to that point. But I see
Yes.
your point. But do it that way. Let these guys start earning their bones.
I agree, and I would have just liked to seen Taker backstage doing something. And maybe he didn't have to show up. Maybe it was his hat was there or something, just as his presence is felt.
Especially since I think the crowd too was more upset because it's like, well, you can make it to Saudi Arabia, you can't just fly over and do a quick
But
SmackDown.
okay, so now look at it a different way. You brought the highest paid action figure movie star in the world to open the show.
How do you top that?
Now you're going to ask Taker to do something way beneath that. The pop's going to be less. Everything's going to be
true.
less. So when I fully believe that once Rocky secured he was going,
right,
everybody else was off the show.
Got it.
Because where do you go from there? And it's not that Rocky, if you talk wrestling, was Rocky better than Taker? No.
Right.
It depends on who you talk to. But you had The Rock.
Yeah, I get your point.
Whether it was Michaels, Austin, whether Andre himself came back from the dead,
right,
it would have been less then.
Right, because it was The Rock.
In my opinion.
That's why I love having Bill on the show now.
It would have been
what a great perspective.
It would have been less then.
The only thing I really did not like is after the 180-day championship reign of Kofi Kingston, to get squashed in 10 seconds by Brock Lesnar.
But did he get squashed?
Yeah, I kind of felt
did
like
he get squashed, or did he do exactly what he was supposed to do?
He did. He did what he was supposed to do, but it was too good of a reign. It was too emotional. There was too much fan investment behind Kofi to go out that way.
You just said it.
Fan investment.
So did he do his job?
Yes.
That's it.
Well, I don't,
Let's move on.
This is why Bill's here.
Let's move on. No, why I say let's move on? Because you were invested in him. Kofi Kingston, by the way, trained by Bill about Deep South Wrestling. Everybody knows about him.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Drop the leg. That was me.
Right.
Shameless plug. Love Kofi Kingston as a man, as a performer, family. What a run he had. It's still a big man's business. It's still that thing and we're talking about Fox.
And Lesnar's
Fox
his name.
says Lesnar's got to be there, and Fox is calling the shots. And you think Kofi just went in and went, okay. Kofi made his bones. Kofi's going to be okay. He's going to come out on the other side of it.
Right.
I tweeted something to Kofi. We actually talked the night he won the championship.
That's awesome.
That's
Which, you sit there and you go, that a boy, and he thanks coach and this and
Yeah.
this and this. And because he did his job. And that's the way that should have happened. Otherwise, you're toying with it. And here's why I say that. I'm going to lead right into the other thing.
Okay.
Toying with it. Brock would have had his way. Suplex City 1,700 times, all these things.
Right.
A little hope spot here and there, something, and then it all goes down, right? Let's go right to the main event of Hell in a Cell. Let's go right to it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go right to it. All these things. Here comes the
Let's do
things.
it.
And Hell in a Cell, and boom, and we got chairs and sledgehammers and all these things and finishes and curb stomps and don't do it, no, you can't do it, and all these things and all these things. And it's Hell in a Cell. Here we come, and it's a DQ, and the place left pissed off.
Yeah.
Nobody left pissed off when Brock. The only people who were pissed off was that they can't believe Kofi didn't have a chance. Let's look at it. John Wayne and the little green Martian from the Flintstones. If they're standing next to each other, who's going to win the fight?
John Wayne.
Moving on. Now, this other thing.
Hell
They
in a
just
Cell.
pissed at
Cell.
everybody's Cheerios here.
What?
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
It is
I've
never.
never tweeted and Facebooked so much just hatred.
Look, I don't tweet. I mean, I don't put things negative on Facebook. I really don't. If you follow me on Facebook, it's all magic, wrestling, and dogs. That's what I put on there. But I gotta say, right? And I'm not a. I've never,
And some of those dogs are not cute, by the way.
No, some of them are not. But I've never been in the production side of wrestling, right? I don't know the business aspect. I only know as a fan. I am sure it's probably not good for business, though, when you have 15,000 people screaming AEW and chanting for a refund.
Why not?
It's good for AEW.
Why every time they go to Chicago, they're still chanting CM Punk? It's great for business.
For AEW.
It's great for business.
That everybody has. Okay,
You're so invested in this big babyface champion to get disqualified for using a foreign object in Hell in a Cell.
how do you get disqualified in Hell in a Cell?
Especially whenever Bray had a bigger hammer.
Right.
You got
That's what
so
threw me
invested. You're so invested in the Fiend and the thing and the thing and the thing. And actually, he's the one who turned out to be the one that's human.
Yes. And I think he
What
just became
can
the
they
biggest
do
babyface.
now?
I don't know. Where do you go? So I have a theory.
But I guarantee every one of you who tweeted and posted, hit your followers and did all these things, it's, son of a gun, I swear to God, you're all crazy. Wrestling's fixed. I knew it. Screw Seth Rollins. WWE sucks. I'm watching AEW. You're watching Monday night to get an explanation.
Yeah, well.
So that they
That's a
do
good
their
point.
job.
They did.
Bum, bum, bum.
WWE's going to make me watch Monday night.
Do you have to agree with it?
No.
So,
But you got to watch it.
Yeah,
and you've heard me say this plenty of times. I say this to everybody I've ever trained. So if you want to really be a student of the game, in my opinion, you have to learn to critique instead of criticize.
Okay.
Because the minute you criticize, and there's nothing wrong with it, that fan thing stays there. But that's what they want. They got people talking. Nobody's talking in Stanford right now about the AEW chants. They're talking about whether we can take these people on a bigger trip and piss more people off, or how do we kind of justify our babyface champion doing what he did.
So I have a theory on that. I have a theory, and this is where I'm anxious to see where they go, but this is where I think maybe they could go. And if this is where they wanted to go, I think it was poorly kind of executed last night. But let me in. I think last night, Seth Rollins let the Fiend in. And I think you just had a heel turn, or what could be the heel turn, from Seth Rollins. I think the Fiend, although he may have not won the championship and took 17 curb stomps and got hit with everything under the sun, I think he actually may have come out the winner last night in the long run.
Interesting. My thing, my issue with it, right, wasn't necessarily disqualification. I didn't get it. Again, Bray had a hammer too. It was a bigger one. It looked heavier. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing that just threw me off is in a world of gladiators, you've got two figures, The Undertaker and Bray, that are supernatural. You're kind of bringing those worlds together, and you're having Seth, do his move so many times, and it just was like, I get it. He's supernatural. He's not like in the gladiator kind of side. But how could he do any less to a Brock Lesnar now? And he did do less, and he beat Brock Lesnar.
Right.
My brain was very...
It was confused in that way. What happens if you have a Lesnar
I think they just... I think, judging by the social media and everybody who's talked about it over the last, 24 hours, people were insulted.
Yeah.
But they were insulted because they didn't... There was no explanation. And I heard Bully Ray talking about this. Mm-hmm. And he's right. You sit there. If people would have had to explain to him a little bit, if the story would have been explained a little bit better, if you could have understood why the referee waited so long time to get involved, or you tried to figure out why there's been a sledgehammer in every Hell in the Cell since 1942, and everything that's gone on, I think they could have explained it better. So I think the people felt screwed over because they were invested in this thing, so they didn't give them what they wanted. Oh, no. I dare all those people who didn't get what they wanted to walk away. They're not going to AEW because they got to wait till Wednesday now. They need their explanation Monday night. Wow. And Monday night they drew it was under a 1, or, it was one of the lower ones.
Right.
So watch what they draw now. And it's still, I'm not taking away, it's still cable network drawings, but it's going to be a higher one. But they'll come out of it, and they have to explain it. A lot of people won't be with it. But then I want to talk to both of you after you get the explanation, go, that kind of makes sense. And then you'll be all pissed off again.
Yeah, we will.
About
because
something else.
You spent 4 days being mad at the finish. The fact that they went off and people chanting that, who controlled that? WWE controlled that. WWE controls when they chant CM Punk. WWE controls when they chant holy shit or this is awesome or Rocky or Burger King or Crack King or whatever they called Baron Corbin. STD. They control that.
Right.
And they also can shut it off when they want. That's just...
Okay, but how do you feel about, especially being somebody who's in the business, Seth doing as many finishers as he did?
I think he should have hit. I think he should have done every finish under the book. I was okay with all that stuff. Okay. This guy's not normal.
Okay.
He's not Brock Lesnar. Whatever you think about Brock Lesnar, he's human.
It's like the gladiator.
Taker's not human. Kane's not human. Mankind, although human, derelict, doesn't know any better.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Lesnar's human. Big curb stomp. You can get to Lesnar that way. You can kick Lesnar in the nuts and get something out of it. You can kick the Fiend in the nuts and you're just getting the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now everybody's tuning into the Firehouse. Everybody's tuning into all these things, and
that's
right now,
really good.
and I guarantee you, I don't guarantee you. I would suspect that both men that night, a lot was going through their minds too of how is this going to be perceived.
Yeah,
perception's reality.
Yep,
they pissed everybody off.
I haven't heard that negative reaction from a crowd.
Since
the last time I heard it was the day after WrestleMania here in Orlando. Roman Reigns comes out after beating The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And all of the chants against Roman.
And Roman Reigns is now doing what? And top selling merchandise.
The new John Cena.
Appearances of crossover movies. Taker's enjoying retirement. Yeah, I guess I get your point.
Yeah.
I think we get your point now, Bill.
Listen, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I mean, we got more to talk about. I mean, we're just getting started here.
We just recapped the week.
That was just a week. We haven't even talked about, we haven't got any other segments yet.
This one time in Knoxville, we can't tell that.
Oh, man. But it was, you know what? overall, I got to tell you this: it's an exciting week for professional wrestling. Exciting week to be a fan. Bill, what do you think the atmosphere is backstage this week? What do you think the atmosphere? Let's just start. What do you think the atmosphere is tonight on Monday night back in the arena?
I think if I'd like to think everybody still has the mentality. It's changed a little bit since I've been there, but there used to be after a pay-per-view like that, there used to be a set of excitement where, all right, I want to step into that. How do I get involved in that? How do I pick things up? And now with the draft and everything that's coming on, let's not forget that's the thing that's hovering over everybody's head right now.
Right.
In NXT, in Raw, and in SmackDown, because there's some guys who have clearly said, I don't want to leave NXT.
Yeah. Some guys wanting to go back.
And there's guys who want to go back to NXT, and there's guys who don't want to be on Raw now, and there's people who want to be on SmackDown. Backtrack to when Nitro was the biggest thing going. So they made Thunder. And then Thunder was doing great ratings. So now that's when guys in that upper middle, we moved to Thunder, and then you had Luke and everybody going wanting to work Thunder because that's where the ratings were. So then we'd have to work both shows, and then they only wanted to work the rating shows.
Right.
So I think you're going to see a lot of that now because if it stands true, and I don't, because I hate the lottery and the draw every time.
Right.
They do it too many times, but if it stands true, where you're put this time is where you're going to stay for a bit.
Yeah, and I think it's going to. I think with Fox, to your point, with Fox having the money, they want big names.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Each brand is going to get hurt in the draw.
Yeah.
Because somebody from NXT who realizes I can make the same money, be in my bed 9 times out of 10,
right,
and still have a travel and still all these other things, but I can be home. Schedule's a little lighter, it's a little less. All of a sudden, they're going up to where they wanted to go in the first place.
Right.
And then guys and girls, and so I think that's the overlaying thing this week. It should be excitement. I think there's probably a lot of walking on eggshells more than anything, though.
Got it.
And then,
where am I going? Who am I?
And then you got to think like the couples that might split up. They're probably freaking out a bit.
There's nothing.
The best
nothing
friends,
the
ride buddies. I mean, you probably experienced the ride buddy thing.
Just learned early on, ride by yourself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, never let. I had 2 riding partners, and once we were split up, that was it.
Wow.
Listen, I've traveled with Bill. We've rode together we've been to a couple different places, and I understand why he rides by himself.
I'm a driving machine.
He is. He's great. It's fun. I love road tripping with Bill. He is fantastic. I will tell you the best thing, though, is to go out to eat with Bill. And go have sushi with Bill is the best thing. Go have sushi.
That's the magic right there.
Right? So
you take Frank to everything's the experience.
Oh, yeah.
To me, everything's experience, right? The Build Them On experience. That's why I call it that.
Yep.
Everything you do and everything with Frank is the experience. I have that film, and every time I need to laugh, when I feel bad about something, I'll send it to you.
Oh, I can't wait.
We'll put it on our Facebook so you guys can see it.
Okay.
So let me set the stage. We're in Tallahassee, right? Bill and I are driving to Tallahassee. We're there. We get there. We had an event. We get there the night before. We go out to eat. We go to the sushi place, and I don't remember the name of the sushi place, but man, that was great sushi. A little hole in the wall place. Fantastic. So Bill looks at the menu and he basically, he's like, I'll take one of everything, right? So here comes one of the sushi rolls, and the thing is on fire.
Is it?
It's about 3 foot long.
Yep.
Okay.
Wrapped in foil, engulfed in flames.
Yeah. And they put it in front of me, and I look at Bill. I said, Bill, it's on fire.
Is it?
I grabbed my phone. I'm like, what? He goes, fire. The food's on fire.
That's amazing.
And that's all he kept saying. I'm dying. I can't eat. I can't breathe. I'm watching. He's going, it's fire. We can't eat. It's on fire. I'm gagging.
The people in the restaurant are looking at like, what are these?
What is
crazy
wrong with these two? You put it out as great food.
Yeah.
I took him to Cincinnati. It was snowing. I couldn't find him. He was outside in the parking lot like a Charlie Brown cartoon. Snow on his tongue. He's like this. Frank, you okay? It's snowing. I've never seen snow. It's snowing. So wherever I go, Frank.
It's the experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, wait till Magic the Wrestling hits the road.
Oh,
we're doing this stuff live.
Man.
And we're going to use the Oscar Mayer hot dog wagon.
Yes. Listen, I can't wait.
In between shows, you dress up like the hot dog.
That's
right?
amazing.
Listen, we sell hot dogs right out of the back of your truck.
You know what?
$3.50.
Right?
$3.50 a dog.
Yeah.
Is
Dollar
that,
for
is
a
that
can of
cheap?
soda.
I don't know.
I
Take a
think
few of these cats.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Toppings
Time
are
out.
extra.
Oh, what happened?
That was out loud.
Oh, that was good. Oh, no, listen, I think it's there's so much to do, so much to talk about. It's really been great. It's been a busy week. We got a busy week coming up.
Do we have Twitter?
Yeah, we have a Twitter.
What's the Twitter handle?
That's a great question.
We have
Bill.
a Twitter.
We need the
YouTube,
voice
we have
from
a
beyond. What's
Facebook.
the Twitter handle?
Magic T Wrestling.
Magic T Wrestling at Magic T Wrestling. That's Twitter. Do we have Facebook?
Yes.
What's Facebook?
Magic Through Wrestling.
Magic Through Wrestling. Oh, I see what you did there. Magic
have
T
YouTube.
and Magic Through. We have a YouTube channel. What is that?
Magic Through Wrestling.
Bill, ask him what the name of the show is.
What's the name of the show?
Magic Through Wrestling.
Ask him again. You might trick him this time.
So the social media
Bill looks so confused right now. I wish you could see
is
this.
Magic Through Wrestling, except on Twitter
You can only
when
have
it's
so many
Magic
characters.
T Wrestling.
You can't have.
It's limited on Twitter.
So you took away the through and you kept Magic.
Could be anything.
What would it be?
You could have put MTW.
M through wrestling. I could Magic through top title.
Magic through Twitter? I don't know.
know.
Which,
How
you know
many
what, that's
followers do we have on Twitter?
3, Bill. Do we have 3? Is it 3?
And now all 3 have just decided that because of they just figured out what the T was for.
No, we'll get a couple back because everybody just heard our audio engineer Vaughn speak.
That's right. They're like, who
Engineer
is this guy?
Vaughn. Hashtag Engineer Vaughn for episode 3.
That's right.
So,
Yes.
so I just became the second reveal. I'm in a dungeon. I get the Hulk Hogan thing
Without
with no
music.
and Audio Vaughn is now going to trend on Twitter
Audio
at Magic
Vaughn.
T Wrestling because he spoke. Thank you very much for the water, and I hope to do this again sometime.
Yeah, sorry I didn't have that diet soda you asked for.
Freaking straw. I just want a straw.
Paper straw or you want a metal straw?
Well,
We don't do plastic. We're environmentally
That's right.
safe.
It's all about the turtles, Bill.
And what about those soda can holders,
yeah.
the plastic? You can't have those.
no, those are no good. No bueno.
Okay, so real quick, let's do some stuff here, right? I
Yep.
want to do something kind of interesting. This is kind of off the cuff. Let's go with some predictions here, because next month we have Survivor Series coming up here. So, Maury, let's kick it to you. Main event of Survivor Series. Where are the three big titles going?
Oh man, with this draft, I don't know. They might. I could see SmackDown getting the WWE title or the Universal title potentially. Maybe they switch up the titles. Maybe that could be something.
Maybe they got to change up probably the strap to blue. I mean,
I'm going to disagree. I
Yeah.
think the most important title now is the WWE Championship.
yeah, the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, I see. I don't know who's going to face Lesnar. Do we want to see Roman Reigns again? Do we want to see Seth Rollins again? Who is going to come up to after Cain Velasquez? Whoever knows how long his contract is. But do we want to see another UFC guy, with the world title? And Rey Mysterio, to Bill's point, John Wayne and the Little Green Martian, right?
Martian.
So who is your contender against Brock Lesnar?
That's tough. That's really tough. I don't know. I would say.
Assuming Lesnar has a match.
Assuming Lesnar has a match, but let's
And that
even
he
say
stays
he
on.
does.
Well, he's going to stay on SmackDown. I think
Let's say
that's a
he doesn't,
no-brainer.
right? Let's say he continues as the world championship like he has and has 4 matches a year. So at his next match, forget Survivor Series then, his next match, who faces Lesnar for the title?
I think Reigns would have to be the clear-cut favorite.
But do we want to see Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar for the
I don't want to see it
18th
again.
time?
Not right now. I think you need to let that cool. I think you need to, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's what it's going to be, but it's not necessarily what I want to see. But
Yeah.
what do you think?
All
see anybody-
titles change except Lesnar.
That would be interesting.
All titles changed. Nakamura,
right?
all across the board, except for Charlotte Flair. Dare I say Becky Lynch? All titles across the board except for Lesnar.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch is past holding a title.
Yeah, she doesn't need a chaser.
She's now Sting.
Yeah.
She doesn't need a title. She's
her own
She's her
attraction.
own entity now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
She's
Do you
the
think she's
man.
going to
I
move
love
to SmackDown?
Yes, I think so.
Now, do you think her and Seth are both going to move to SmackDown?
No.
You think they're going to keep Seth on
No,
Raw?
and I think if the big mistake would be if Becky goes full time to SmackDown, then you're counting on other divas, and it's no offense to them, but you're counting on them to pick it up. And right now, Becky's money. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell
It's
you.
going to be great.
Real quick, I got to say, I think the person who challenged Lesnar, and I'd like to see him have a good match, Randy Orton. I think he's an underdog competitor against Lesnar that can give him a run for his money.
That would be
And
good.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him have a good match. Not like what they had at SummerSlam a couple years ago. I want to see a good Lesnar-Orton match, a good build-up there,
Well-
especially from their history in OVW.
Fox is fighting for the Fiend.
don't forget.
the rumors,
I'll throw one name, and I'll leave it at that. I'll leave one name way off in the side. That's still floating around. He's still going to come back and do some things as Goldberg. So
I wouldn't mind seeing him back. I love.
I'm not saying it'll happen. I'm just saying he's there somewhere in
That's
the dark
true.
corner.
I kind of like to see, I saw an interesting thing go online today. Matt Riddle and Goldberg, their exchange.
And Edge, by the way, if you're following everything that's going on, Edge.
Right, I heard that may come up.
Audio Vaughn.
Yep. Wait, what's
You
up there?
got to make a noise. Make
What-
the noise.
what's-
Make it go up.
What?
No, you got to make the noise.
Ding, 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 ding.
What's that mean?
We're just about done.
We're just about done.
This is Audio Vaughn kicking us off.
Audio
of the show.
Vaughn just went ding, ding, ding. We're just about done.
You just
I'm
called him
not even-
Audio Vaughn.
I'm not,
Hashtag Audio Vaughn.
listen, what do you mean?
You called
So
him-
we're done?
We're
Well,
done.
we still got to do a quick plug if Vaughn
What?
will
Vaughn?
graciously let us.
Vaughn, you're letting us do the plug.
Plug it.
Yeah, this is we're gonna plug this. Go ahead, Maury. Oh,
I'm going to throw it to Bill because I was going to plug.
No, plug your guy. Plug your thing.
I'm going to plug that on next week's
Oh,
show.
okay.
oh, okay, got it. So we're gonna plug. So we're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold that surprise.
What are we plugging?
I know we're going to plug that. Okay, so we're going to hold that, your plug for the next week.
That's
Okay, got it.
they
So
paid for
more-
next week.
Okay, got it. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring something to your attention, and we're definitely going to put something over and plug here real quick. Something very, very, very important. Yeah, Bill knows exactly what I'm going to talk about here. Bill, you have a storied history, a storied past, and right now is a very important time. And coming up here in a couple of months is a very important event that I want everybody, all the listeners, to do me a favor and go online, and I want to see everybody at the event. This is the 4th annual dinner banquet for the Carrie Ann Demott Foundation, and this is going to be January 18th, 2020 at UCF in the Pegasus Ballroom. Tickets are on sale now through Eventbrite. We want you to go to www.thecarrieanndemottfoundation.com. Purchase your tickets. It is an absolute amazing, wonderful night of fellowship. Great events. We have some great raffle prizes there. Or not raffle, sorry, silent auction prizes, including, did I mention, 4 tickets to the Out of Control Magic Comedy Dinner Show at Wonderworks. For $29.99, you can enjoy pizza, sauce, soda, wine, beer, dessert, unlimited laughs, unlimited fun. But they're VIP tickets. So you get not only the show, you get tickets to Wonderworks, to the museum, the entertainment, the attractions, the laser tag, the ropes course, the online roller coasters. Everything is included in that package. You can bid on those. The foundation has got some great other silent auctions. Get this, right? Year supply of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A for a year.
Year's supply of Chick-fil-A.
Now I know I'm going to be filming this event, but can I still put in for the Chick-fil-A?
No, I think Billy bid already.
I bet.
I told him he couldn't have it. With the tickets,
Yep.
right now there's a what we're calling the early bird special. So if you go on the website now, tickets are 20% off, and that's it's sponsorship tables too. So organizations, companies can buy tables and buy the whole table. Everything's 20% off until November 1st or the 14th. But if you go on the website, it's grown in 4 years, and we'll talk about more of the foundation later. But in January, that's Carrie's birthday. Well, we picked that month. We stay with that month. We're looking at over 400 people coming in this year. Silent auction, some great recognition to community leaders and people around the state. That have really going out there, and so people know we talk we're over 50,000 students now at this point, and
It's amazing.
10,000 law enforcement officers across the state and around the country now, and the things that we've done. So there's an opportunity. Go on the website. It's Magic T Wrestling at Twitter.
Yep.
Oh no, that's Audio Vaughn. Hashtag Audio Vaughn.
Right,
Hashtag Audio Vaughn.
You're right. Go listen. If you're listening,
Yeah.
come join us at the foundation dinner. You can meet Maury. You can meet myself. It's a great night of fellowship. Just a great night
You
to
can meet
recognize.
Bill. He might be there.
Bill will be there.
I'm going to
You
show up
left
for
him
that
out,
one.
but
It's the fourth annual dinner,
annual dinner.
right? Hosted. Great host this year. I'm not hosting it. You're not hosting it. He actually went with a
not hosting
professional, right? We have Trooper Steve.
Yeah.
Trooper Steve
That's
is
awesome.
hosting it. And this is the third time he's hosting.
Close friend of the family, as
Yep,
you know. and
absolutely.
Just a great host. It's near and dear to his heart, the foundation and what he does, and some good things happening there. So yeah, if you get a chance, it's January 18th.
Yep.
We have one other event coming in November, World Day of Remembrance.
Yep.
So you go on the website, check all that stuff out, and I'm sure we'll talk about it before then. And
Yeah, we'll have links to everything,
yeah.
all of our stuff. But it's www.thecarrieandemottfoundation.com. As we always say, come once, check us out. You'll find it's a great environment. It's just an overall great night for a great cause, great
Absolutely.
foundation. Absolutely. So that's all I have. Maury, anything? Any last final words?
That's all I have, Bill.
I want a better noise to stop the show instead of ding ding ding. I thought you had like this whole Audio Vaughn says it's time to go.
Did anybody eat a burrito this evening? Or
No, Vaughn, you don't want us making okay.
burrito.
And this is why Vaughn does not talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Anybody eat a burrito? Did I lose? Oh,
This is why Vaughn does not talk.
wait a minute.
But we do love Audio Vaughn.
We do love Audio Vaughn, for sure. We love them. Guys, I love you guys. You guys have been fantastic. Please do us a favor. Absolutely. Drop us a like, drop us a comment, share our stuff. Again, we're at
I'm coming back.
we're at Facebook, Magic Through Wrestling.
Am I coming back?
Right. Yeah, Bill's
yeah,
going to come back.
I thought you signed that exclusive
Yeah, can you
lifetime
check?
contract. In the
You wouldn't even open the door. I had to wait till you opened it up for Audio Vaughn, and then he let me in.
But we are going to try to get you some music next time. Sorry, it just the
It's
old
it's
cassette deck
past
didn't
now.
work.
Because all the people that were going, Demott got the Hogan, no music entrance.
Listen, at least you got an entrance, right? I don't have music.
Yeah, I definitely don't have music.
Yeah, I don't know. Your
My cassette deck doesn't
I don't
even work
need-
anymore.
Music throws me off.
does it? Did you pick your own music?
Yeah.
You picked it in WCW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did it. We took, when the Misfits had it, it was a spinoff of War.
Nice.
And
yeah.
we were, that was my vocals.
Was it? I don't think
Oh,
people know that.
big money on that one, brother.
Yeah.
Big money. Nada.
So, listen, Bill, we end the show in a very special way. You've been a special person. All my listeners,
I will
love
fight on the radio just so everybody understands this.
Listen, I just want you to know, guys, again, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. And if you don't, well, I got 2 words for you. Goodbye.